Hi, so we just wrapped up a Board of Supervisors meeting, so I'll give you a quick rundown on some of the key decisions. So first of all, we voted to include within the county's legislative agenda that we should end the sales tax exemption that data centers enjoy for all purchases of data center equipment. This is incredibly important because we do not need to make Arizona attractive anymore for the data center industry. And we also need to ensure that for data centers that are coming into Arizona, that we're getting sales tax revenue. There is no reason that we should be just kind of giving it away from our water and energy demand and our revenue to the data center industry. We also had a vote, and it was a really kind of a procedural vote that was a kind of final ordinance approving the land use plan and the rezoning for the Southeastern Logistics Center for the data center for Project Blue. Obviously, I voted against it. It was approved on a 3-2 vote with Supervisor Kano and I voting against it. Again, this is a procedural kind of confirmation of what we voted on a couple of meetings ago. We also approved the release of a memo that had been kind of a confidential memo. It had been written by the Pima County Attorney's Office to the Board of Supervisors about the use of non-disclosure agreements. And so now that memo is being made public, and we also released along with it a number of examples of non-disclosure agreements that have been in play. Some of the companies' names have been blocked out, but those documents and sort of the template of non-disclosure agreements that the county uses are now publicly available. We also, this is a lovely thing. So we also voted to name a new pedestrian bridge on the loop after Suzanne Shields. Suzanne was a trailblazing engineer that worked for the county for 37 years. 17 of those years was as the flood control district director. She was one of the first women engineers, often working in meetings that would be all men. And she was really instrumental in making sure that the loop became what it is. So it is very fitting that the bridge, which is now a pedestrian bridge across the Santa Cruz River, is named after Ms. Suzanne Shields. We also had a report from Director Darland about the county initiatives to end homelessness. This is a report that we get once a month. Director Darland is kind of going through a process of developing, in concert with other partners in the region, kind of a work plan of sorts around filling in some gaps and identifying some of the systemic challenges and obstacles to really addressing both the health crisis, the homeless crisis, and affordable housing crisis, and kind of how those systems intersect. One of the things that was really pushing today, along with Supervisor Kano and Supervisor Scott, is that we've got to figure out a way to put back into place a system that was operating during the pandemic, which is that we used to know exactly how many shelter beds were available and where they were, so that people could be directed who were looking for shelter bed. They could be directed exactly where to go, and we knew we had the data of what was available and for whom and what type of shelter bed. It seems like a really basic piece. It's complex, but it is an incredibly important system to get back into place. We also had a report today from Michael Rossi, who has been the county's lobbyist for 30 plus years. His firm lobbies on behalf of Pima County at the state level as well as the federal level. One of the things that we discussed with him was about their continued advocacy, both with our congressional delegation along with the federal administration, so that we get reimbursed the $12 million that Pima County gets reimbursed, the $12 million that is still outstanding from the emergency shelter and support system that we established using Department of Homeland Security funds and in collaboration with Homeland Security to provide shelter and support for people who are seeking asylum. Still waiting for that 12 million bucks, and we're hopefully, cautiously optimistic that we may at some point get it. We also had a discussion and a vote today that rescinded the stage 2 fire danger level in the county. We have approved this, sort of pushing up into stage 2 per a recommendation from the state forester a month and a half ago or so. The determination is based on the rainfall levels, increased humidity, and decreased fire activity. I was kind of urging that we should retain the stage 2 fire level, which puts in place a number of restrictions, and requesting instead that we look at more the specific regional data. I believe the forester's recommendation is a statewide recommendation, but we've only had a couple rains, and it doesn't sort of seem like 2 good rainstorms is enough to pop us out of our stage 2 level fire restrictions. But ultimately, we decided to drop down to stage 2. I voted for that, but also asked the administration to kind of pull together some of the data locally, and if need be, we can reconsider. So those were some of the key decisions. There were a few other things. I urge you to always check out pima.gov, where you can see the agenda, the notes, and the attachments and relating documents to all the agenda items. And feel free to always reach out to us. district3@pima.gov is a quick way. And feel free to ever come down to the Board of Supervisors meeting. Generally the first and third Tuesdays, 9 a.m. And thanks.